Hey YouTube, it's Lloyd Fernandez here. Hopefully you recognize me by now. Making a quick video about renting versus owning. I wanted to let you guys know some good information about that, renting versus owning. I want to get right into it. I want to go dive into just the fact of the money you're putting into when you are renting versus when you are owning. And when you're renting, you're paying that money every month, 700, 800, 1,000, whatever it is you're paying your rent, whatever your rent is. That money's never coming back to you. That money's gone. That money going in somebody else's pocket, and they're using it to either pay their mortgage or they're using it to do whatever they want with it. You're never going to see that money again. Now, when you own, you pay your house off. That money goes into your house, which is yours. So it's not being thrown away. Not only is it yours, but you can pull that money out when need be. Get a loan on your equity. It's called a home equity loan. And that means you could, if you, for example, if you have, it's just rough numbers, you got a $100,000 house and you have $20,000 paid off on it. You have $80,000 still to pay, and you need that $20,000. You could get a home equity loan on that $20,000 for a vacation, for a car, for whatever reason you want it, family emergency, any reason. You have that money there. It's always obtainable. Where, like I said, renting, it's gone. And let me give you the definition of a home equity. Home equity is the value of ownership built up in a home or property that represents the current market value of the house less any remaining mortgage payments. This value is built up over time as the property owner pays off the mortgage and the market value of the property appreciates. So like I just said, that money goes in there, and when you're paying it off, it's yours. And when you're done, paying off the house, and let's say you want to sell, there you go. You want to sell, you sell your property, or even if you don't have it all paid off, you can still sell and get that equity, whatever it is you got paid off, whether it be $20,000, $50,000 paid off, that's coming to you, profit. So that money you're spending on paying off the house comes back to you at the end of the day, where versus renting, it goes to somebody else. And that's just the bottom line for that when it comes to the money. Another benefit of owning versus renting is landlord. Now, when you rent, you have a landlord. He tells you what to do. He puts down the rules, obviously in the lease, what you can and can't do on the property, And you being an adult, you go to work, you gotta listen to somebody else. You don't want to come home and have to follow somebody else's rules. It's your home. You're paying your bills, you're paying your rent. You want to have somebody telling you or limiting you on what you can and can't do when you're paying that amount of money every month. So a great benefit. You want to paint your house. If you own it, you paint it. It doesn't matter. Black, purple, green, whatever. It doesn't matter. You want a pet, you want a dog, you want a cat, your kids want a pet, you can do that. You don't got to ask nobody, or you don't have to pay extra, or you don't have nobody telling you, no, you can't do that. You're not restricted. That's a great benefit. And another fact that I wanted to share with you guys, I got it off of keepingcurrentmatters.com. They revealed the percentages on income needed to afford rent versus mortgage. And they said renting historically, to afford medium rent, historically, you needed 24.9%. It took 24.9% of your income to afford medium rent before. Now, it takes 29.5% of your income to afford rent nowadays. So it went up. It went from 24.9 to 29.5% now to afford rent. So that it raised, obviously. Now the percentage income needed to afford a medium mortgage payment historically was 22.1%, and now it's 15.3%. So it went down. The rent went from 24.9 to 29.5, and the mortgage to afford of your income to afford mortgage went from 22.1 to 15.3. And even if you look at both sides of the number, historically, it took 24.9% to afford rent, and historically, it took 22.1% to afford mortgage. And it was still low back then. Now it's even lower because now rent is at 29.5% to afford it, and a mortgage payment is 15.3% to afford it. Big gap. That's a huge thing you should look into and consider when you're deciding to either keep renting or if you're gonna rent versus owning. And it's really not that hard to own. People think it's hard. It's really not. With those percentages I just gave you, you're just basically making somebody else rich. And you might as well keep that money instead of giving it to somebody else to do whatever. They could get the vacations and they can have the car they want or send the kids to whatever school they want to. You might as well keep that money for yourself and use it for your needs. And by owning, it would be my suggestion. Another thing I wanted to bring up about owning versus renting is you could have a second stream of income simply by renting a room. Let's say you got an extra room in your house, you own the house, you want to rent it out, or the basement, or you put an apartment in the basement. There's people that do that. So it could also be a second form of income to your life. Yeah, that's a consideration. People do that. Some people buy duplex or apartment. They live in one apartment and they rent the other one, or two, or if they have an apartment building with 3 apartments in it. There's many options there. If you just want a single family home, like I said, you could rent out the basement or a room, and it could be a good source of income, extra source of income for your pockets. And lastly, tax deductions. Now, when you file your taxes and you're a homeowner, you get to deduct the mortgage interest payments. The interest you pay on your mortgage, you put that on your tax, and you get some money back for that from the government. And also, it's another thing called eligible expenses that you claim on your taxes, and that's for if you do improvements to your home, to make your home more efficient, economy, and let's say you put something in place for electricity, make it more efficient, or you put the solar panels. I know you see all the people putting up solar panels on their roofs now because it saves them money on their electricity bill. But you can also claim that on your taxes, having somebody put it in and all the work. You claim that on your taxes, you get some money back for that. That's major, especially going into the future right now with all this stuff going on, being more green. And lastly, I want to tell everybody that they should definitely take advantage of the low interest rates that are low right now and are going to be going up. And because we're at a record low. I know you've seen the advertisements on TV and everywhere. We're at a record low, and we're going to go up. It's not going to stay here, guys. So I think you guys definitely should take advantage of that as soon as possible if you plan on owning a home. And another fact I have here off of Trilla says asking price on homes went down 0.7% in the last year, while rents went up 5%. Go to facts, all the percentages, all the numbers tell you. You gotta own to keep your money, and it's cheaper than renting. Your landlord could raise the rent every year if you want to. I'm sure it is already happening to you or has happened to you. It happened to me. They can't do that, and when it's your house, you got your payment and that's it. It's nobody coming in and saying, oh, you're going to give me more. No, that's the payment you agreed upon. You signed the contract, you're the lender, and that's what it is. So you want to be the master of your home. You want nobody telling you what to do. You want that money to go into your pockets, into your home, but eventually you could have it in your pockets when you sell, or you could take it a home equity loan when you need it. All that money you're spending, people spend so many years renting and losing money. Some people never own and just rent their whole lives, and that's money down the drain. That's money that could go to you, your kids, grandkids, vacation, car, whatever you want. So guys, with that being said, that's the end of my video, and I just hope that it helps you guys on making a good decision. And if you need help buying a home, or if you have any questions about that, you can contact me, leave a message. You can hit me up on Facebook, Lloyd Fernandez. And like I said, I'm in York, PA, York County. So anybody out there that wants to get in touch and want to find out more information about buying a home, you can get in touch with me, leave me a message. Like I always tell you guys, I wish you luck, I wish you success, and subscribe.